Hi Stampers, it's Kelly Ents from Stamping with Kelly, and I'm here live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and it's a beautiful spring day. It's already the middle of March, but last week was the middle of winter. We had a snowfall warning. It was really cold again, but now we're back to summer or springtime weather. Summer is just around the corner. I have a feeling it is. I'm so glad that you could join me for this video. This is our monthly online card club. So what is our card club? Well, it's an event actually that I've been running for almost 18 years. I will be a demonstrator in Canada here for 18 years on at the end of May this year. So yeah, we've been meeting monthly ever since I started as a demonstrator. But of course, we weren't online right from the very beginning. So I really love this new online format because it allows us to gather and share our creativity all over the world. So you can watch, of course, globally. If you're in Canada, though, please reach out because I can send you a packet of prep supplies so that you can craft along with this video. You'll have so much fun. All you need are stamps and like a neutral ink pad, and all of the stamps that you need are really like sayings mostly, and adhesives. If you have other supplies that I'm using to take your projects up a notch, you're very welcome to use those as well. And you can receive your projects for free with a minimum $35 order. So if you're in Canada, reach out to me, place an order along with the host code. And then if it's at least $35, you will actually get a free gift you'll get the projects from me. And if you spend over $100, you're actually going to be getting this package of cardstock. This is really cool cardstock. It's in the new colors that were added to our core colors here. When was that? Maybe 2 years ago now. And this is actually a white core cardstock. It's 12 inches by 12 inches, and you get 2 each of these awesome colors. So I have them written here. I know they're on your screen, but they are Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, and Night of Navy. So really fun, fresh colors. And these are colors that are not going anywhere. They are sticking around for a long time because they're a part of our current color offering. So I started this video again. If you're watching along live, please comment and let me know. Is it sounding okay? Is it looking okay? Because I had to start it all over again. I wasn't seeing my mic, the bars moving on it, so I wasn't sure if the mic was actually registering as any audio. So yeah, that would be really too bad to finish this whole video and nobody could hear me and I was miming the whole thing. So if you are watching along, please comment. I appreciate that so much. And if you're watching the replay, comment replay and let me know where you're watching from because it's so fun to see where people are in the world and tuning in. The world is such a small place, especially when it comes to crafters. So that is the next thing that I want to talk to you about, which is something that's really near and dear to my heart. This is a collaborative class that I've put together with my friends. I'm actually the only Canadian who was doing it, but I have 5 friends from the United States who have gotten together with me to create this online tutorial for you. It is such a fun class. I think it ends up being about an hour and 45 minutes. You get 7 project ideas, including the PDFs with cutting maps, cutting directions, sizes. That's what you have. And it's called Pause and Paper, Crafting Along and Create with Heart. So this is in support of one of our friends who has recently had her furry friend go through a really tough time and incur some pretty big vet bills. And so we actually, just to show our love and our support, we are coming together to create this online class. And it's all around this fabulous kit, which is called By Your Side. And I'm going to switch to my desk view here. So if you would like to purchase this class, it's actually just $15 to get the tutorials and the video of the instructions. If you want to craft along and get the kit, I highly recommend it. This is called the By Your Side kit, and it's from our kits collection, which is available online. And it's $30 here in Canada, and it includes the supplies to make 8 cards total, and it includes supplies for making dog themed cards and cat themed cards. But let me show you what the kit comes with. You get this adorable stamp set, which is photopolymer. I've got a whole stack of things to show you here, so I've got this perched right on top. But this is the stamp set. There's a print off of it. It comes photopolymer, and it includes a block as well, so you can get to crafting right away. But you can see you've got great sayings. Best friends forever. That's not just for pets either. You make my heart happy. Again, not just for pets, right? Here's to a true friend, and I'll always be by your side. So you also get some paw prints there. You got a kitty one and a puppy one, and a fish and a little dog bone, so you can really make some cute designs with this. But I think also the sayings are really versatile as well. So these are the 2 layouts. How the kit comes is it gives you the full color instructions here, and there's actually 2 different layouts. So you can see there's this layout here, and then there's this layout here, and for each one of them they've given you some pets so that you can have a cat version and a dog version. So this is a really fun kit, and I even put them on some wobbles because I really wanted to take it up a notch. So these wobbles are actually available on Amazon, and they're like a double-sided sticky dimensional, but that has a spring in the middle, and so you get this really fun playful look. So you make my heart happy with this cute little peekaboo hole, the matching envelope that has the stamped paw print there. And then this one here, oh my gosh, I just love this guy. I put him on a wobble too because it's just so fun. But even without a wobble, I think they're just adorable. So this is the second card layout, and again, you've got options for making each of them into cats or dogs, and it actually comes with double the die cut printed sheets here than what you need, so you end up having a whole bunch more of these that you can play around with afterwards, and that's what our class is centered around. So if you would like to, of course, have some inspiration, you can definitely just get the class on its own, or you can get the class along with the kit and then you can stamp along. But all the proceeds of the class, every single penny of the class registration is going towards our friend and her furry friend, and all the commissions for this kit are going to be going towards their wonderful cause. Help to brighten their day, right? So if you're interested, just let me know. It's as easy as an e-transfer to 𝘾𝙧𝙚𝙚@gmail.com, and then I just send you links, and then you have everything that you need to craft along. If you'd like to place the order, you can definitely do that too, and then you can actually craft along with us. So I'm going to do just a quick sneak peek of the 2 cards that I showed. This is one of them, and each of them have awesome little techniques that I'm showing, but this one here is a really fun little fold, and you got some cute little heart embellishments on there, and I love this design. It features some heat embossing, and I put those wobbles on there as well. So yeah, just adorable card designs, really quite versatile. And so even if you didn't happen to have this kit, that's totally fine. You can craft along with whatever you've got in your stash. But if you wanted to get that kit, of course, that's going to make your crafting experience even better. Alrighty, what else do we have to talk about? We've got some new Paper Pumpkin sneak peeks, which I'm so excited about. Paper Pumpkin is different than our kits collection. So the kit that I just showed you there is available online, and not the instructions, but the item page will break down what items are included, what the finished projects looks like, and also the stamp set and everything that you need. Paper Pumpkin is our monthly subscription service, and it is a surprise, even for us demonstrators. So we don't really know beyond these little sneak peeks that Stampin' Up! Gives us, which is so cute, so fun. This one here is, if you sign up right now, then you will get this kit as your next kit, and that will ship out about mid-April. So the cutoff for signing up for this kit is April 10th, and then if you sign up, then it will automatically ship. I think it's like it's billed the 11th and it ships out the next day or something like that. So I normally get them around the middle of the month. I just got this month's on Monday, actually, right before club, yesterday, right before club. So I was so happy to share that, and I'm going to give you a little tour of it today as well. So this is called Inked Occasions. It's so gorgeous, isn't it? I love that alcohol painting look. It gives that watercolor look, but it's definitely different than watercolor, isn't it? The next kit after that, so this is the one if you're signing up April 11th to May 10th. This is the kit that you would get. And I think it's, going to be more nature, more like a little bit more masculine or gender neutral. And I love any of the kits that have mountains and beautiful trees. They just speak to my heart. So I'm really looking forward to that one. The next one after that, which is May 11th to June 10th, it looks really pretty too. This one is going to have like a metallic outline, it looks like, and more of that watercolory look, but looks like this time it's going to be with florals. So lots and lots of fun. The other item that they have released to go along with the Paper Pumpkin is the coordinating die pack. So Stampin' Up! Is now approaching Paper Pumpkin in like more of like a quarterly way. And so this quarter, for these 3 months, starting now and then running until June, right? We have a coordinating die pack, which you can purchase, and each of the dies will have a coordinating throwback to the kit that you're going to receive that month. Now, do you have to receive the kit to get these dies? No, you don't. You do have to be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, so you have to have an active account. But you can skip your account at any time, and so you can purchase these. I think they end up being about $16, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I love that beautiful frame. I think that goes with May. And then June, you've got some leaves and florals, and then hugs, and that's April, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited about those dies too. They work really well, and they're so cost effective to purchase them in such a small pack, and they give you a really nice balance of a whole bunch of different images there. Okay, let's do the sneak peek of what this month's Paper Pumpkin looks like. I should really fix this so it's not so crazy. There we go. I'll do that just before I transition you down. So this was the sneak peek that we received, and let's just make sure. I've got one more thing to talk to you about after this. Remind me. All right, my desk. This is the actual Paper Pumpkin that we received. So this came to my door just yesterday, like I said, and as I opened it up last night, oh my gosh, I was so excited. So this one's called Daisy Daydream, and this was for March of 2025. If you want this kit, you cannot purchase it from Stampin' Up! Now. But every month I order a few extra kits, and so you're very welcome to contact me. I can't sell it to you until the 11th of next month. So May 11th I can sell it to you, but reach out to me and I can reserve it for you, okay? The ink spot that you get is Lost Lagoon, which is one of my favorite colors. And inside here, oh, I should have put this back together so nicely. I'm going to have to dig around a little bit for those instructions. There we go. I put it in upside down a little bit. So the instructions come just like this, full color. and you've even got a piece of cardboard there. And inside you got really great, easy to follow instructions. My 5-year-old now, I can pretty much hand her a box and she knows kind of exactly what to do with it. She'll need help with cutting the ribbon and things like that. But otherwise, she also likes to play the demonstrator for me. So even if I'm crafting it, which I always am crafting these on the go, I love doing them at hockey practice because, you know, he's having his time working with his teammates and I'm on the sidelines with his younger sister, my daughter. And then we're crafting away and having so much fun, and she just loves it. She says, okay, and then the next step is you got to put the dimensionals here, and then you have to stamp this design here. So this is great for kids all the way up to, I think my oldest crafter is 93 years old, and I deliver a whole bunch of kits to her every few months as a gift from her daughter so that she can keep busy and keep having fun. So I love that. It's great for all ages. So Daisy Daydream is the name of the kit. You can see there's 3 different card designs and you get 3 of each of them. So I'll do a quick little zoom in here so you can kind of see the layouts and how they come together. Lots of daisies, and you've got this bee theme. One of my favorite parts about this kit though is that it is the anniversary kit. So I can't remember how many years now. We celebrated 15, did we celebrate 15 years? 10 years the other year. I don't know, it must be 12 years or something like that. And every year in March, they always give out a bonus stamp set. So I'll show you here on the print off what we've got included. So this is the original stamp set that comes with the kit. Got lots of sayings on there. You've also got some 3-step stamping for this bee. So you've got the outline, which you would do in black, and that's going to give it the stripes. Then you've got the wings, which you can stamp over top, and that's going to give that, you can maybe even do that in like a soft blue if you wanted to, or a lighter yellow. And then you've got the yellow part that you can stamp over, and then ta-da, your bee is all colored in and you've only had to do the stamping. So that's pretty great. The sayings are really awesome, and of course honeycombs are just adorable, these little hexagons. So in the bonus stamp set you get happy birthday, and then you also get this great like a distressed hexagon pattern, which is so much fun, and some line art here for the flower and the leaves, a hello and happy birthday. So you've got lots of versatile stamps here. You've got some great adhesives, including some long rectangle dimensionals. So that's kind of fun and different. You've got laser cut white pieces for you to stamp your sayings on, and gorgeous printed envelopes. Aren't they nice? Wow, hey? There's even some on the back side. I love those 3 different designs. And then you've got the cardstock bases. Again, 3 different designs, and they've got patterns on the front and on the back side of the card. So if you don't want to have the most decorative back side of the card ever, you can actually cut this out and you can turn it into 2 card fronts. This is like a distressed Lost Lagoon coordinating color here. So this is really pretty. It's a little bit lighter. It might be pool party maybe. This is a really fun look. It's like a laminated honeycomb on there. So nice. And this has got a peekaboo opening. So whenever I'm crafting these, I like to just stack all the pieces that align, and then you can pop out these laser cut pieces immediately. And you don't bend the cardstock and do it 3 different times. You kind of keep it together and it will keep your cardstock intact. So that's really cute with a peekaboo opening. This is another cardstock base here. It's white with like a vanilla distressing on it, so it's kind of fun. This here is some vellum, which I'll show you with these bokeh circles, but the vellum, you can kind of see through it. So it has a really fun element and lots of distressed finishes on here. We have laser cut honeycombs that are in like a matte shiny gold. I don't know, it's a shiny matte gold. It's not glittery. Like I'm looking at my nails in comparison and it's like a little bit more subdued, but those are really pretty. So you just pop those out and add them as embellishments on the cards. And then you've got all of these laser cut pieces, which are just stunning to look at. And again, you can just pop those out really quickly and easily and use them on the cards. I'm going to do a close-up so that you can see. There's so much difference in color on the watercoloring here. They've done a great job, I think, of really adding detail and texture to this without adding like actual feel to the paper, giving it lots of dimensions. So if you'd like this kit, including the 2 stamp sets, it's actually just $35 in Canada. And if you live away from me in Edmonton, then I will have to ship it to you, which will probably cost about, I don't know, $5 to $7, depending where you're at. And if you want refills, you can let me know. So the refills don't come with the ink spot and the 2 stamp sets, and they work out to $17 each. So we'll put that away, and I have to talk about one more thing here before we get started with some other new products. So we have some news, which is unfortunately not new in our world right now, with a whole bunch of price increases being announced in every section of our lives. But Stampin' Up! Is at least giving us the heads up that with the new catalog launch here in May, we're going to have a price increase on cardstock. And so it's our chance now that we can check our stash and see exactly what we have and what we need. So the biggest price increase is going to be for our Very Vanilla and our basic white cardstock, because it's going to have an increase of cost per package of $2, and it's also going to be going down from 40 sheets to 24 sheets. So this marks a bit of a double whammy, basically. And as soon as I heard, I placed an order for some cardstock. So to my amazing customers, I just want to thank you so much for supporting me, and I've got you covered. If you want some basic white cardstock, I can hook you up with the packages of 40, because I think they were sold out, and now the new packages are the 24 count for the increased price. So if you are interested in any cardstock, you just let me know, and we can get that on an order to you or to my house as soon as possible. So all of the colored cardstock is going to be going up in price as well. And so you'll want to make sure you check your stash, and you'll want to think about a few things, like how are you using your cardstock, right? Are you using white as a cardstock base and then layering colors on top, or do you typically use colors for the cardstock base and then layer on other pieces of cardstock on top? But you might want to consider which colors you use the most of. Get full packages of those ones, and then maybe you get the assorted packages, or even a couple assorted packages of each of the color families. So these come as a pack with 10 colors in them, and you get 2 sheets of each of them. So maybe per sheet you're paying a little bit of an increase in the per sheet price, but you get the fact that you get all the colors in Stampin' Up's collection. So no matter what designer series paper you get, you always have something that's going to coordinate with it. So if you purchase, a couple of assorted packs for each of the 4 color families, you can also get them for the in colors. And then maybe you get, a full pack of the other colors that you go through a bunch of, and then reach out to me and we can talk about the basic white as well. So just a heads up, that's coming in May, but guess what? The new catalog is awesome, and I can't wait for you to see it. Purchasing starts in May. I can place my pre-order here in the next little while, and I should have catalogs available for pickup from my house or going into the mail for my customers who are outside of Edmonton, starting probably the beginning of May, I'm hoping. All right, now let's talk about another catalog that we have going on. So we haven't dived too deep into our scrapbooking brochure, but I want you to know that this exists. I've printed it out. Otherwise, it's only available online. So that's the difference that you might have been missing, is that you have to dig a little bit deeper for it to try and find it. But it's worth looking at even if you're not a scrapbooker, okay? So what you'll want to take a peek at is the fact that there's so many coordinating products with this and our mini catalog. So in the scrapbooking brochure, it'll look very, very similar to, you know, what we have going on in our annual and our mini catalogs, but you're going to see more scrapbooking layouts and even some stamp sets that are a little bit more geared towards scrapbooking. So they have lines for journaling, they have sayings that are bigger that can work as titles for your pages. And then you're going to notice some different things here too. So just quickly going to this Wildflower Celebrations. This is a collection that actually coordinates perfectly and has items in it that are from the mini catalog too. And then there are different items too that kind of add on and build into that theme, but with a scrapbooking twist. So I'll explain to you what's going on. So when you purchase these scrapbooking kits, you can do them just as we would a suite for all the bundles of products in the mini catalog, or you can purchase it piecemealed together. So I'll explain to you. So there's a scrapbooking workshop kit. This one includes step-by-step instructions, designer series paper, two-tone cardstock, white willow cardstock. That's close to my heart's white, but it's a pretty great match for our basic white. Stickers and pre-cut images, and photo placeholders. So you can also get some of these items separately. So the stamp set is not included in the kit price. So if you want to add that on, that's always an extra. But you can purchase some of the items separately. Doing it this way will not give you the instructions for the page layouts and the cutting maps. And I'm going to show you why that's such a benefit in a minute here, because the instructions are really spectacular. Actually, they're easy to follow and full color, and they're great for even replicating for pages in the future with different project kits or different products that you're using. So Wildflower Birthday 12 by 12 designer series paper and sticker pack you can also get separately. That one is a cost of $29.25 if you get it as a part of the Wildflower Celebrations kit. It's $49. And then to get the other product, you can get just the two-tone cardstock on its own as well. That's $16.50. And so I actually haven't done the math here. So it would be $30, $40, $6.50. So for $3 more, you're getting some great instructions. You're getting the photo placeholders. And I think you're getting, my gut instinct is that you're getting a little bit more. Is that true? Let's dig into it and let's see. So the Wildflower Birthday, when you get it, it looks like this, the project kit. So when you open it up, it's like a really high quality envelope that you can open and close many, many times as you work on your projects. You might not finish it all in one go, so that's really handy to have. And then you get these full color instructions. So Wildflower Birthday starts with cutting maps, and it gives you the front and the back and the cut orientation, and then it tells you exactly the sizes, lengths to cut these pieces so that you can end up with these great scrapbooking pages. This kit makes 6 sheets total. So you get you get 3 full spreads. So 2 sheets on each spread, and there's the third one here. So I really like that they give you a full color image of it, and then they give you a piece here where they've identified all of the different pieces that are going to go onto it. So which pieces are those? We've got different designer series papers. Some of these are actually very similar or the same as the ones in the mini catalog. It's just a smaller pack. And then it includes some pages which are exclusive to these packs. So like these ones here are single-sided, and these are exclusive to the scrapbooking kit. Then you've got your two-tone cardstock, and by two-tone they mean that it's pretty in pink color, but you're going to get the standard pretty in pink color on one side and then like a toned down version on the back side. So it's like 2 in 1. Same thing with all of these colored cardstocks. You've got some white here as well. Let me flip back here to these stickers. So these are reminiscent of the stickers that are included in the mini catalogs designer series paper pack, but these are scaled up a little bit more. So they fit a little bit better on the 12 by 12, and they ground your pictures a little bit better too. So you've got these die cut pieces, you've got borders and leaves and really fun things that you just pop out really quickly. And then you also have this sheet of stickers. So this is like a cardstock thickness, but they've got a sticky back, so it saves you on adhesives as well. And then you've got your backing piece. One of my favorite things though that it includes is these little cutting maps. And so these are what photos you will need for each of the spreads. So this allows you to make the spread really quickly and efficiently, and then you can take these pictures and just sit at your computer, figure out which pictures for what event you want to print off, have them sized accordingly, or know that you're going to be cutting them down to make sure that they're kind of the same size. And then you can put these onto your scrapbook pages as like a scrap map. Do you see what else they've done here? This is on the back side of these cut pieces. They tell you which project they're going on to. Genius. Love it when life is made simple like that. So, Wildflower Birthday, I think this would be great for anyone who's like me, who has 1,000,001 events to scrapbook, has the desire to scrapbook, but feels a little bit overwhelmed and wants to make their lives easier. This is going to be perfect for us. So this is the Wildflower Birthday. There's also Everyday You and Me, which I'll take you through really quickly here. This one's got beautiful kind of nature colors. Again, you get the scrap maps, you get everything, the page layouts that you need. This has like thick, they almost feel like chipboard elements. I don't think that we have a designer series paper like this in the catalog, so I think this is the only place that you can get these designs. And again, some of them are double-sided and some of them are single-sided. There's even this one here, which is a massive die cut frame that you can put over your sheets. This one I have to pull out, I think. There we go. So you've got your big, huge header. You've got nice flowers that you can layer up. Your two-tone cardstock, which is so beautiful to have. And then these are the sticker elements for this kit. They're beautiful, hey? So that one's called Everyday You and Me. I would need many sheets of every day, because with kids, the excitement is in the everyday and the first teeth that are lost, and the adventures that you have at the playground, and the happy and the sad moments sometimes too, right? Like we were just visiting my in-laws who live in Saskatchewan, and every time my daughter just cries, and so I take a picture of her because she's sad, but it's about such a happy thing, and I would love to have that included on a spread. If you guys like the bunnies that we played with last month, or the pets that I guess they're little animals, critters maybe would be more the name. I think this isn't different. This might be the same. I feel like there's more bunnies on this one. I don't know. I'm going to have to do a real side-by-side comparison. But this I know is, oh man, is like in 6x6 format in the mini catalog, but I'm not too sure if it's in a 12x12. So then you've got some of the single-sided. You've got these beautiful two-tone cardstock packs. Again, you've got some of those bigger elements, and do they have the sticker sheet in this one? Yes, they do. There's the sticker sheet for that one. Really cute. Then we also have this Meant to Be suite, which is a throwback to some stamps that we actually had come out a while back. So Be My Valentine is the bundle that came with the punch. And this one came with one cute little bee body with the stripes that you can stamp over top, the wings, and then you can put the little faces on. There's a whole bunch of different options, and you can punch it out with this punch. Now we have a coordinating stamp set to go along with it. And Be My Valentine and Meant to Be are meant to be together. So this is like a medium-sized bee. They've brought out a stamp set that has a larger bee and a smaller bee, including the stripes and the wings to go on those, more fun faces, and some great sayings on there too. So the stamps for these ones are a little bit bigger for the bees, bigger and smaller, I guess I should say. And so now you can make a whole bee family, right? A papa bee, a mama bee, and a little baby bee, like the Three Bears story. But I really love the dies that come with this one. These are hexagon frames, and you have so much versatility with those. So you can make them into, hive sort of feeling, or you can use them for any project. Remember, when you're cutting something like this, you're actually going to get two die cut pieces. You're going to get this little frame, which then can be used on a project, and you're also going to get the hexagon from the middle that's cut out. So you can use that as an element to layer on top of your projects. Cards, whatever you're doing, it was going to be perfect for you. You've got dies for the wings, the bodies. These work great for speech bubbles too. You've got love and, what's this one say? Our hive is what it says. Oh, that's really cute. So our hive, and then the bubble outline to go along with it. That's really adorable. I thought it said love. That's funny. Can't read backwards, I guess. So just a reminder that Meant to Be is in the scrapbooking brochure. If you're wondering about that, you can always just go online to the store, and it doesn't break it apart into different segments in that format, I should say. You can also go online to my website and see this whole catalog digitally as a PDF, and that works really well so that you can kind of see the inspiration that they come up with. Again, really cute patterns for this one, bright, happy colors. You've got the sticker sheets and the die cut sheets as well. So there's the sticker sheets. Cute. So you can get these items separately, as I said. So if you're interested in the stickers and the designer series paper, this is going to come, separate from it. And then you can also use the two-tone cardstock as a wonderful way to supplement your cardstock supply. So this is 12 by 12. That gives us different flexibility for doing like fun folds and things like that. And so yeah, just take a look, because even some of those are on the clearance, I shouldn't say clearance rack, it's the last chance list. And you can get some great deals on cardstock in there. Just a reminder that if it's 12 by 12 cardstock, it's in that smoother finish, and so it doesn't have like that textural feeling like our 8.5 by 11 has, that feels a little bit more like cardstock. The 12 by 12 cardstock is going to feel a little bit more like designer series paper, or that heavily pressed basic white cardstock that you're used to stamping on with a nice crisp clear image. All right, we also have cake celebrations. This is a really cute stamp set and die pack. I think we're going to play with this next month because it's so adorable. I just love this little banner to put on top of the cakes. I feel like I'm out of screen tonight, and I apologize if I'm not over far enough. I think it's because my back is hurting, to be honest. Everyday You and Me is another scrapbooking style stamp set and die pack, but that's just because the sayings are a little bit bigger and you've got some fun imagery to go along with it. But I really like this, and it was not very expensive if I'm remembering correctly. We also have some new online exclusives, which I always want you to check out. Have you been checking out the online exclusives? I hope you are starting to reprogram your brain to thinking not just of looking in the catalogs, because there's truly so much more being added every month. It's almost, for me, like hard to keep up with, because I see so many things that I like, and so I think we're going to have to hold many more crafting events just so that we can go through all of the products that I've purchased, so I can justify buying them, so that it's for showing you, right? Are you guys okay to be in this plan with me? This Tags of Thanks is a really great stamp set, but what I love is this 3-pack of punches that comes with it. So this pack of punches gives you a slit. I don't know how well you can see it. A slit with this little half circle on it, and then also a 1/8 punch. So you can turn any piece of paper into a tag. This is great for kids making bookmarks. It's also just great for layering elements onto your project. So really cute there. This is called Textured Notes, and this has a pack of coordinating designer series paper that really goes beautifully with it. This has lots of texture. It's actually just photographs of actual elements. This one might be computer generated though. I don't know. This one's looking rough and rugged, but this one I feel like is maybe a bit too perfect. Who knows? I just have never seen wicker that looks that good, right? We've got all different kinds here. But I was really excited about using this with some of the more natural themed cards that I make, or even more masculine cards. And the stamp set that goes along with this one is really pretty. So you are seriously the best. Thank you. A little note of appreciation. And then you've got these cute textural elements that you can layer up. But what really clinched this as a must buy for me was this die pack. So what you're seeing here are a whole bunch of rectangle dies, and when you cut the rectangle out, it's going to cut on this outside edge. It's going to leave the inside edge, but it's going to impress into the paper the patterns for all of these different styles. So you can see them maybe a little bit better if I break them up a little bit. Can you guys see those? What I love most about this is that there are no tiny bits that get cut out that turn into confetti and a real mess in your workstation. So this is going to be a die pack I think that you're going to go to every time you want a rectangle, because this is just a stepped up rectangle, right? You've got lots of different options, even as big as a card front size. So again, that's called Textured Notes and Textured Notes dies. Fancy Borders is another one that I fell in love with for the dies. And the stamp set is great. You've got to and from, which turns everything into a tag. And these dies, though, are really, really fun for making the borders on cards. And there's even this one here, which I think coordinates. Does it? Oh, am I imagining it? No, it does. So it coordinates with the stamp set. You can probably see it a little bit easier if I hold it there. There, you can see that. Isn't that beautiful? So I think we're going to have some fun with those. It's always nice to add a little bit of touch of elegance to the edge of a card. And this I think we can do some fun folds with as well. Oh, I'm feeling a fun fold coming on next month for sure. Peekaboo Forest is just adorable from start to finish. You've got these little critters which you can have popping out of this little hole in the tree trunk. You've got the tree trunk extender that you can stamp as many times as you need to. This fringe here is meant to go above so that it indicates the leaves of the tree, which are hanging down. And the dies that go along with are so cute. So this is actually going to cut out that whole tree trunk. The image on the cover here is shrunk down a little bit, but it's going to line up perfectly so that you can pop out that tree trunk and the peekaboo opening, and then you can cut out your critters and have them peeking through. You can even cut out that fringe of leaves, some leaves for the tree, branches, even the little woodpecker too. So Peekaboo Forest is that one. Available now. Mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. I love embossing folders. Ooh, that's making the camera trippy, isn't it? I love embossing folders that just add texture, that don't necessarily have to be on a theme. So this is going to be great. I'm sure you're going to see this popping up because textural elements just add so much to a card, and that's what makes it look truly handmade. These are called the Starburst Sequins. Let's see if my camera will see them. We've got really fun colors, but can you see how shiny they are? They're glittery, shiny, and then they have grooves in them that have these little starbursts, so they're lots of fun. And I don't normally do this, but this time I actually purchased a die just on its own, and it was because of the versatility of this. We've got a frame that has this beautiful wood grain print into it. You get 2 ovals, and then also this little piece of wood that doesn't cut out anything, but it will just impress into the paper. That one's called Framed Scenes Dies. So I thought we could play around with that in the future and have some fun. Okay, quickly. I know, right? There's so much new to talk about. And the new catalog hasn't even come out yet. This is a new kit that really switches it up from the ordinary. It's called Birthday Bash Kit, and it's making little gift bags and gift card holders. So if you want to switch up and get your kids involved in their gift giving, especially for their birthday parties, or if you want to take it up a notch with your gift giving, that's a great kit for you. Another kit from our kits collection that you may be interested in is called Nature's Paintings, and this one's very unique. It comes with a whole bunch of basically like card fronts. I think they might be folded cards actually. I think that they're card fronts though. And you get watercolor pencils and a water painter, and then you can color in the fronts and play with basically watercoloring practice. All you would need to finish off these cards maybe is a saying and some embellishments. Those ones would be from your stash, but this is a great kit to give to a new crafter or to purchase for yourself if you're just getting started and you want to try out some watercoloring. Watercoloring pencils are so easy to use. They're really fun to work with. This one's called Welcoming Garden. We've got the crumb cake stamp pad and a little picket fence here with some great sayings. The cards for this one are really great. Let's see. There we go. This is quite 3D. Actually, I'll show you in a second. Actually, all of these are really 3D. So we've got this gate that has the arch over the top. We've got like a white picket fence sort of a gate. And then we've got like a wire trellis gate. So that's pretty fun. You can see a little bit of this here. So you can see it's like the full size of a regular card. If you guys are interested in these kits, reach out to me and we can also plan a kit together at Brew and Bloom. That's a restaurant that I just love right here in my neighborhood. It's always a fun adventure to go there, and they treat us so nice. You can choose to purchase whatever you want. There's no minimum required, and I just bring a bunch of kits. If you want a certain one, then you can let me know, and I can bring it from my stash, make sure it's there. Otherwise, you're welcome to pick from my kits. You do have to RSVP so that I can save enough seats. But otherwise, however many kits you want to make, and you can nibble on whatever you want, sip on whatever you want. Brew and Bloom is all about coffees, cocktails, and the most whimsical food ever. This is a really whimsical box now that I'm talking about it here. This is a very unique kit called Layering Landscapes. It comes with 4 frames and then the cardstock inside to make these different scenes. And the frames are 7 inches by 7 inches. They're white. I'll just show you the size of them here, basically. I have big hands, but you can see the size of them. They're 1 inch more than a 6 inch by 6 inch piece of paper. And they don't have glass or anything on them, and so you can really see all of the different layers of pieces. My friend Colleen said she just put this together the other day, and it took her really no time at all. So now she's got some beautiful, playful art that she can put up wherever she wants, in her craft room, in her house, in her office. Last but not least, my favorite kit. that Stampin' Up! Has released recently. Oh, I was going to craft it today, so I put some scissors in there. Doesn't normally come with scissors. It's called Heirloom Arrangements, and this looks so different than any of Stampin' Up's other kits. So if you like that kind of vintage look, this almost looks like a butterfly collection. And this comes with 8 cards that are completely unique for each of the designs. So most of the card kits, you'll get duplicates of them. This is a really fun one where you get individual cards. And my friend Barbara was telling me that they also have a whole bunch of other designs that you can use as inspiration too. So the stamp set in this one has a butterfly and a bunch of sayings, as well as that cute little grid background. Get a clear block in there, pecan pie ink spot, and your cardstock bases, whole bunch of design elements that are ready to go. And like I said, every card is different for this one, so you've got lots of versatility in terms of the designs. Ooh, even the envelopes are just so pretty. Those are great. Look at these pieces here, though. This is where I think this kit really shows its unique nature, is how vintage and beautiful these look. We've got vellum, we've got some tags that almost look like stamps, then we've got these cute butterflies and flowers. There's a little tag that's already been popped out because I was exploring it yesterday. And then these ones here, which are just gorgeous watercolors. So that's going to come together really fast. And I love doing these everywhere I go. You guys know I'm a crazy camper. I'm crazy for camping, stamping. And I just love taking them in the car whenever we go on a big long road trip. And what else do? I take them on airplanes. I take them to hockey practice, and anytime really where I have a bit of me time, opportunity for me time, I like to put away my phone if I can and spend some time on actually feeding my soul. So let's get feeding your soul. We have some crafting to do, and you might have the first card that looks like this, or you might be missing this. If you're missing this, just reach out to me. I'm happy to send this to you. This is my bonus card that's available for free when you pick up your projects from my house. And so if you live away or if you purchase your product kits, I include the shipping for free, but as a thank you to the customers who do pick up from my house, I include a little bit extra since I don't have to spend money on postage. If you want this bonus card, I'm happy to send it to you. It would just be an extra cost for the postage for sending your supplies. So this is actually from a paper pumpkin kit, which is perfect for getting this time of year. This was from February 2024, so from last year. It's called Sweet Springtime, and I do have these in my stash. You can get full kits or refill kits, whatever you'd like. Just reach out and let me know if you want some of these kits. They actually make 3 cards of this cute little bunny and daffodil design, and 3 cards of this little chick design, which is a little bit of a longer card than we would call that a slimline card. And then the other projects that you actually get 3 of these too. Where did my bunny rabbit go? Oh, I don't know where he went to. But this is the little project, the little 3D project that comes along with it. So you get a total of 9 projects when you purchase this kit. These ones come flat, and then you assemble them to create a 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch box. So when you get them, they're just like this. It includes all the adhesive, and so you just pop these together really fast. But I really like the milk carton style gable at the top. And then you poke out the holes in the top there. They give you some cute twine, and then this little die cut goes on there with some embellishments. So this will make a really cute treat, and I'm so excited to give these to people who are coming to my Easter party. So yay, family Easter parties are so much fun. And again, if you want these kits, You can put them together very quickly and easily with supplies from your own stash, just like what we're going to do tonight. So in the card envelope that I give you, you'll have a whole bunch of embellishments. Just make sure you've got 5 of these little dots. They might be on 2 sheets there, so just make sure you're finding those ones. I'm going to be crafting this green one here tonight, but I'll walk you through this one, which is really, really simple. The only thing that you need to craft these projects is actually a stamp set with sayings, and if you're using the coordinating ink pad, I'm using 𝘎𝙧𝙙𝙬 for this one. So I'm using the ink pad, or sorry, the stamp set that comes in this kit, which includes Happy Easter, but this would be a great card for welcoming a new baby or Happy Spring. You can do whatever you want with this card. You can even do Happy Birthday for someone who loves bunnies, right? This card comes together really simply and easily. There's a frame here. I don't have any more of those actually. I should have done this tonight. Sorry about this. There's this white frame though that you pop out that has these little grass sprigs on it. And I just put that on using a little bit of Tombow adhesive. So this Tombow mono adhesive is great for something like that. Just make sure you're doing it sparingly. And that gets applied right to the cardstock base, which has these printed bunnies on it already. Then the next step that you're going to do is put dimensionals on the back side of the 5 daffodil flowers that come in the envelope because they come in the kit, and you're going to pop those on top. I just kind of offset them so it looked like different layers on the same flower. Stamp your saying, Happy Easter or whatever you choose, on your banner. Pop that on with dimensionals, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the cute little dots. This is going to come together really simply and easily here for our slimline card. Again, printed with these little chicks right on there, all ready to go. And I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. So our paper pumpkin kits do come with dimensionals. And I just love that because I go through a lot of kits and frankly, I end up with a lot of dimensionals left over. And so for me, it's like I'm saving money to be getting these kits because I'm not buying dimensionals anymore, right? Oh, this is crafting math. I don't like that saying girl math, but this is crafting math, and I can totally get behind crafting math. Girls are very good mathematicians. We shouldn't have a saying like that. But crafters will do anything to justify some savings, right? This is a little wreath that actually comes in the kit. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals on the back side of that and put that on here, right around these cute little chicks. Now the next step is I'm going to do this banner, and the instructions that they provide have it so that the banner ends are higher. So you do you. I think I'm going to try to fit Welcome Baby on there. It's going to work. So 𝘎𝙧𝙙𝙬 again is the ink pad that comes in this kit, so that would be considered the coordinating color, but I don't think you can go wrong with the color for this one. You could have a lot of fun. You could even do Berry Burst and match, you know, some of the purpley hues that are on the card. Ooh, that was a tricky one to do with my camera where it is, but there we go. That worked out. Now on my initial card, I did put dimensionals under that, and then I realized it kind of popped it up maybe too much. So I'm going to put just some Stamp and Seal on the back side here, and I think that's going to hold it on nicely. Oh, that's so cute. I think I like it just like that. Maybe a little lower. Yeah, I'm going to put some dimensionals underneath the flowers and underneath this banner so that it's all raised up on the same level. I love dimensionals. Have I said that yet today? I sure do love dimensionals. All right, now the finishing touches for this card are these adorable little white matte dot embellishments. And those ones, we've got 5 of them. So I'm going to put to kind of down here. Depending on where you put your banners and your frame, you might have them on the pink part. You might have them, you know, up a little bit. There we go. Cute. Isn't that adorable? So again, if you purchase this kit for $17 with the refill, you can use whatever stamps and ink that you want from your collection, and you'll create 3 of these cards, and you'll even have 3 of these cute little gift boxes. So these would be great to have on your stash if you're having a little get together with your family, if you're giving your kids little treats. And you can purchase, of course, more of those refills. When you purchase the refill and the full kit from me at the same time, I actually give you $5 off your refill. So it's a really great deal to get this paper pumpkin box. And like I said, it gives you lots of goodies in there. Lots of oh, look at this. I could have shown you here. Sorry. There's a pre-printed card base for this one. And when you get all your die cuts, they look just like that. We were at a hockey practice when my daughter and I were sorting these card club projects actually for you. There's one other sheet that I want to show you. Where is it? Here it is. So this sheet here is what gives you that circular wreath that goes on the one card. And then it also gives you this great border piece that you can use on that bunny card. The stamp set that's included has these great little sayings on it, and then it also has cute little bunnies and chicks and the little daffodil flowers. So I think Stampin' Up! Has gotten really smart when they're doing these paper pumpkin kits, because what I've noticed over the last 5 years is that to create these kits, all you need are the sayings in the stamps. So they give you the stamp set with additional images that coordinate but are not required to actually put these cards together. So that means that you can purchase even just a refill and use some saying stamps from your collection, and that'll work really well for you to put the projects together. Okay, are you guys ready to move along to the next project? Our next project also is nature themed, and this one is utterly adorable, and it really is. So it's going to be the card base that's in old olive color, and then the little packet with the otters that go along with it. And we're going to be crafting a card that looks like this. So this is kind of like a fun fold, but it's basically just trimmed back 1.25 inches from the regular full length of the card. But it adds a lot of whimsy, I think, to have this little tag overhanging and to have this peekaboo of the pattern that will still be visible when you write your message on your card here. So the things that we want to keep in mind when we're putting our tag on, we want to make sure we're not putting any adhesive and then gluing our card shut. And we're going to take up this paper a notch with some Wink of Stella. So let's get started on that first. And actually we're going to use some blending brush too. So I've got my blending brush, and then the matchy color to go along with that is Balmy Blue. So that's going to go with this color of cardstock here. I'm going to look at this now and see which side has the smaller pieces raised up, and then that's just going to be highlighted a little bit more by using our blending brush. So I'm putting a little bit of pressure on there just to get some ink, and then I'm going to glide this across. I'm not pressing down too much on the paper because I want this brush to focus more on the parts of the paper that have been raised by me putting this through the embossing folder. So this is our 3D textured waves embossing folder from our new mini catalog. It's actually in the suite with the crazy fluorescent lobsters. And so don't flip past that page. Even if fluorescent lobsters are not your style, this is a really fun embossing folder that's really versatile. I also like that it's 6 inches by 6 inches, so I actually did 2 of these sheets at once. You can also choose to do a card front and have the waves going across horizontally or coming down vertically on a horizontal card. I hope that makes sense. So now that I've got the ink on there, let's use our Wink of Stella to take it up a notch. So Wink of Stella is a platinum shimmer paintbrush. This is the clear color, but it is a platinum kind of shimmer. And I'm just going to use the side of the brush to paint along these lines, and it's not going to be perfect, but it's just going to help to highlight the fact that there is a pattern on this paper, like a design on this paper. And as I'm brushing this on, it's going to look darker for a minute, and then it's going to just fade into a little bit of a more subtle shimmer. Then to add some bubbles and some dots, I'm going to take the lid and my brush and just flick right onto my paper. That's going to give just some speckles, which I think look like bubbles. Wink of Stella is a fabulous product that I think should be in everyone's crafting collection. Since we're getting inky, should we finish up the stamping on this project? I think so. Let's take our tag. I'm using the stamp set that goes along with this, which is called 𝘎𝙪𝙥𝙥𝙦. 𝘎𝙪𝙥𝙥𝙦 Amazing has images of cute little otters, which correspond with our designer series paper, but the designer series paper is where we're going to be getting our otters here tonight. The 𝘎𝙪𝙥𝙥𝙦 stamp set is so fun because you can recreate these otters over and over and over again, and you can die cut them with the coordinating die pack. It even includes a die for you to cut out these little cuties as well. The dies include some extra images, so like these little rocks, the fishes, the log. This kind of is like a wave. You got 2 bigger fish. These bubbles are really fun because they don't cut out around the outline. They're just going to cut out the bubble hole, so you could even put like a glimmer paper or a white piece of paper in behind, and then peekaboo through the cardstock is going to showcase that paper from behind. And then you've got a whole bunch of different seaweeds and kelps that you can put onto your project. So the designer series paper that we're using is so varied and so versatile that I couldn't use the dies with the designer series paper, so prepare yourself. There is incoming fussy cutting imminent. You've been warned. I'm going to use from the stamp set You're Utterly Amazing, because that's a really cute saying, and I'm going to go with the green color of the cardstock base. So this is Old Olive that I'm using. Okay, Old Olive ink, and I'm going to ink this up and have it a little bit more in the upper left corner so that I can put my kelp sprig on there. Let's just make sure I've got the right one here, because I might want to do it just like this. Actually, I'm going to go top right because of the way my kelp is going. So maybe take a look at your kelp and adjust accordingly. I love a tag like this because it gives you some versatility. You can stamp it, centered and perfect, or you can play around and add different elements like what we're doing. Okay, while that's drying, let's get our fussy cutting over and done with. Paper snips work so well, and I really love Stampin' Up's paper snips because they're so sharp and they cut so well from the middle, like the hinge, all the way to the tip. But my tip for you is that you try to keep your scissor hand as fixed as possible, as still as you can. And then when you're pivoting around, you can get really nice edges by moving around the paper. Some people find this fussy cutting to be quite therapeutic. Is that you? Are you that person? please comment if you're that person. I want to know that there's more of us out there. I can handle a little bit of fussy cutting, but I have to tell you, when we're preparing these kits, there's so many of them that I just cannot do the fussy cutting for you. So you are on the hook for a little bit of fussy cutting, but I promise you it's worth it. When I'm fussy cutting, I do have one little tip when you're designing your card, and you'll notice on this card here that the paper, the designing series paper that I'm cutting around with, has a blue background, and it is actually the not Marina Mist. It is, what is it called? Balmy Blue. Where did I go with Marina Mist? What year is it? So the Balmy Blue paper in behind will actually mask any of like the rough edges or imperfections in my fussy cutting. And so my tip for you is, if you want that kind of flawless look, it's nice to match the paper that you are cutting out of with a paper that's going to be layered behind it. You know what I mean? So if you've got a white background on your designer series paper behind the image that you're cutting out, just don't put it on top of black, because it's going to be really noticeable if you have like a rough edge or a pointy corner somewhere, or if you don't have an even border all the way around. All right, now that I've talked my way through cutting out those two otters, let's put some dimensionals on them. Just a reminder to keep your clear plastic envelopes, because those can be used over and over again. To me, they actually make even more sense than a paper one, which you use just one time, because this protects the card in a few different times. It protects it right after you make it. Slip it inside that little envelope, and then wherever you keep your cards, whether it's in like a shoebox style, it will keep all the embellishments from getting bent out of place, just like this dainty little piece of kelp. And then when you go to mail it, you're actually ready to go. You can put on a mailing label if you want. You can also even just put a piece of like photocopy paper inside your envelope before you seal it up. And there you can write on your return address and your recipient's address there, which is great. And then even if you're gift giving in person, I like to give it in these plastic envelopes, because I take them back and then I can use them over and over again if I'm giving in person. I don't like come to the person's house to collect them if I'm not there in person. Then I do let it go. I'm not that person. Okay, so let's take a look at this tag, and just in our minds, remember that we are only putting adhesive on one side. I'm going to start off with putting some Stampin' Seal on, just to hold on my little twine. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this before I put that on there. Take a look at this twine. It is phenomenal. The edges don't fray, and you can tie a bow with it really easily, and it doesn't except when I do it myself and don't actually tie it in a bow, but it won't actually untangle itself. It will stay even in an adorable little tiny bow. If you choose to have a tiny bow, it will still stay put. I love this ribbon. It's like it grips on itself, and it really takes a lot to get it untied. This is a technique that I like to do, which is like a fake bow, and that's where you just wrap the ribbon in thirds, and you're just going to have it kind of tucking out from behind here. To really fix this on, I've got my little bit of Stampin' Seal that's working hard, but not hard enough, and I'm going to come over here with some tear and tape, and I can just stick that on the back side. And then to put this onto my card, I love dimensionals, so let's put on some dimensionals. Let's go with 3 of those. And I'm starting with the tag this time. Yesterday I started with the otters, and then I had to reposition them a little bit. But this time I'm wise, and I'm starting with that tag. I'm just going to finesse this so that my end is coming this way. I'm putting this on so that the tips, these little points, are aligned right with the edge of the card. Oh, I missed one little step in putting on my papers. Here we go. We can put this one on. And this is just going to go with an even edge border around the top, the bottom, and the sides. And then when you close that up, you're going to have a border on that other side too. Let's get this kelp on there. I'm going to use some fabulous Tombow multi-adhesive. And this, I am not going to glue the ends of it because that's definitely going to be overhanging, but a few dots in the middle I think will really hold this on. You want to make sure that you're putting this on sparingly. You don't want to be squeezing it too much, just let it flow out a little bit. Oh, that's so cute. This one I used the big long sprig and I had it on the other side, so it kind of has to be bent in a little bit so I can get it in my card. If you've got this smaller sprig, you'll notice that it's curving to the left, whereas this one's curving to the right, so it might work well for you to put it on the right hand side depending on your sprig. Okay, now we'll put on our little otters. And how should we do this? I kind of think that this guy should be playing. Oh, he's so cute. I might need him at the top actually. Yeah, this is where we're going with this. One just right there. Perfect. To finish it off, let's put on these little riverside iridescent irregular dots is what they call them. They end up looking almost like little bubbles. And there you have it. There's your cute little otter card. Adorable, right? So the products for this come from a few different places, but mostly from our online exclusives. So from our mini catalog, I'll just show you a couple items from there. The embossing folder from page 31 is the one that I've used here. That's called Soft Waves, and it's a 3D embossing folder. It fits into our bigger machine because it's a 6" by 6", but that means you've got lots of versatility for doing lots of strips at a time, or even doing a full card front in a vertical or horizontal format. On this page too, don't overlook these adorable sunny day iridescent dots. We didn't use them on this project, but they sure are adorable. One of my favorite new products is this To The Point label punch. And this I showed, I think in January, that you can extend this label and make it as long or as short as you want because we've got two parallel sides. It allows us to slip in pieces of paper and modify it. So take a look at my January card club video. That's going to give you some more ideas on how to use this. Even my catalog tours, I think I show a little bit. This punch is just so awesome. Even as it is, it's got a great size, and you can fit a lot of sayings on there. I love stamping sayings and then punching them out because it means that they're always straight on a card. So the rest of the items are actually from the online exclusive. So if you're on my newsletter list, I send out these project sheets that include all the supplies that you need to make these cards so that it's really easy to order them in the future. So this comes from a suite that's available online right now. It's called Utterly Adorable. When you purchase the suite, you get the stamp set and the dies at the bundle and save 10% off rate. You can also purchase all of these products on their own. If you purchase the stamps and the dies together, you always bundle and save 10% when they're first released. Also included in this suite are the amazing designer series papers. So this is called Utterly Adorable paper, and you can see we've used some of these sheets already. The back side of them, they're just so playful, so cute. They come 12 by 12, but these are some of my little scraps that are left over. So we've got the kelp, these little scenes here with the otters outside the water. And then this is a really fun one. This would make a great scrapbook page background. or you can also cut this up and make it into card fronts or little layers that are added on. You get 2 of each of all the different designs. You get this pattern page that has all these adorable otters out of the water, and then it included 2 sheets of otters in a repeating pattern like this, but with a blue background with them swimming around. So those are the ones that I cut up for us to use onto this card. On the back side of this paper, you've got a really fun like mottled gray look. This is a great river rock look, and it almost has a lot of texture, almost looking like 𝘎𝙧𝙀𝙀 style of like that tissue paper design. This is the repeating fish pattern, and then we've got a really gorgeous kind of greeny marble color there too. So lots to choose from this designer series paper pack. And even if you don't have the stamp set and the dies, you can make this card, right? Because you can use the designer series paper. So that $17 pack of paper I think is going to do you well, give you lots of creativity, and that's kind of a must purchase in my opinion. This Lost Lagoon soft cording is gorgeous, we know that. And the Riverside irregular pearls, oh my gosh, I only have a few of these left. They come with 3 colors in a pack and 2 different sizes. Normally you get a whole bunch of them. I think probably 10 times this strip. So we've got Lost Lagoon, Smoky Slate, and an Iridescent White in the colors for that one. Also used on this card, we've got our clear Wink of Stella, Old Olive Stampin' Pad, and our, not Marina Mist, Kelly. It's Balmy Blue, that paper, and the Soft Waves embossing folder, the To The Point label punch as well was used on this card. So we've got our second card underway. Our third card here we're going to get creative with, okay? So I'm going to show you the final design, and then I'm going to show you some ideas on how you can modify it and make it your own. So you're going to have these beautiful kind of vibrant colors, or even soft, subdued, cloudy kind of colors. So the sample that I originally made was this one here, because I wanted to showcase these arches in a different way. This is a die pack, and when I first looked at it, I can't deny that my brain immediately kind of only saw them as like an arched window opening, right? But I saw this design, and oh, forgive me, I'll have to look up who the demonstrator is, who did it, and posted it, because it's just so unique and so beautiful. I love that it uses 2 of this same size with the different papers, and you can layer them up and totally customize this and make it your own. So let me show you how I've customized mine. So with those dies, there is a stamp set called Everyday Arches that works perfectly with a whole bunch of kind of curved sayings that work with the different sizes of arches. But I also wanted to show you that you can change the dimension of these and modify it to whatever arch that you are wanting to fit. So this one here, I don't know if you can see this. It's kind of shrunk down on the front cover here, but maybe I can show you a little bit. But this You Are Simply Fantastic, I just bent it when I was applying it onto the block, and then that allows me to fit it onto different arches, whereas You Are Simply Fantastic was made to go on a bigger arch. This one is now able to fit a smaller arch. And I'll show you here how I did that. So You Are Simply Fantastic, I put onto the smaller arch. These are just some additional designs. They're slightly different, but I was playing around and wanted to show you some options that you could do. I even put some gold foil in there, which I wasn't able to do for all 36 of you, so I'm just showing it as an example. Nobody has the gold, so don't worry, you're not missing a piece. The You Are Simply Fantastic, I could also curve to make it larger than this arch shape. So just a reminder that the everyday arches starts with a curve, but you can modify that and you can make it whatever curve that you like. And another stamp set that would work really well for this one is called Spring Corners. And that's a new online exclusive as well that has sayings that are going in a horizontal and then go to a vertical line. So I use that one for this card, which I also wanted to show you. You could turn this into a fun fold. You'd need to cut a new piece of cardstock because the one that you have, oh, I don't know if you have a score or not. I don't have a score, but some of you might. But this one uses the same kind of design and has this opening up. And you can see I've got this always in your corner stamped on there, so it's kind of going around. I used this one on the card that I made last night. I absolutely love this card. It says, "You amaze me," and then up in the corner here, "through the happy and sad." And I've stamped a repeating pattern at the bottom here and all around the sides with this new stamp set that we have, which is called Elements of Text. This is a really unique stamp set. I used this one here, and I just used that as a repeating pattern, kind of 1, 2, 3 times. And when I was using it, I was actually stamping with the same color of ink, so Blueberry Bushel to match this darker, more vibrant blue. And that's this color that I used here for the saying, but when I was stamping the script that I was using as a background stamp, I just did some stamping off. So I'll show you just a quick example. Oh, I've already got that mounted up. So Blueberry Bushel. Again, I'm just giving you some ideas here, and I'm hopefully going to give you some inspiration to use some products in your collection. I think that is such an important part of crafting because, you know, we always fall in love with the new and the fancy and the shiny, but let's also look at what we have in our stash in a new and different way and be inspired by that. And for club, this is something that I love doing and that I think is so important to get you using your products. So with stamping off, you stamp off on a scrap piece of paper one time, and then I'm just doing this on a background that I'm going to be covering up. But you can see it ends up being quite a bit lighter than if I stamped full strength, which I will do right next to it. So you can see here, it's quite a bit darker than what we have going on there. So stamping off is another wonderful technique if you're creating a background. On this card here, I created a background with some beautiful little swallows that I stamped. Again, I'm using the same color of ink as the paper, so Blueberry Bushel. The other color of paper, because you might have a reverse color scheme here between these two, and you might have the Azure Afternoon. If you want, you can always use Versamark to get that tone-on-tone look. Versamark will replicate the look of every single color of your paper. It doesn't even have to be Stampin' Up! Paper. It's going to make it look as if you use the same color of ink onto the same color paper and give you that beautiful watermark look. So if you don't have a Versamark in your collection, it's a clear stamp pad that's really versatile for all different kinds of techniques, but great for tone-on-tone stamping too. Okay, so what am I going to do with mine? I've talked a lot about what you can do. I've pulled out some additional stamps that I could maybe use. So I talked about the everyday arches. We also have some great saying stamp sets which make really great core products for you to have in your collection. So Wonderful Thoughts has a whole bunch of different sayings. There's also the Storybook Friends has some cute little ones like Easter greetings and things like that. 'Tis the season after all. I kind of thought like the heavenly look of those clouds maybe spoke to me in an Eastery sort of way. You could also go a little bit more literal, and you could go with stamping a plane over top, right? This is Adventurous Sky. It has matching die pack if you wanted to stamp and then cut it out and add it as an element over top. You could also stamp like a hummingbird from the thoughtful expressions over the top. If you're looking for a really great saying, I think I'm going to use something from this one here. I really love this stamp set. This is called Love and Strength. It came out in our last mini catalog, but it's continued on as an online exclusive. But you could even use those mountains along the bottom if you wanted to. It's got great sayings. I'm here for you, and there is hope. And then there's this great saying that says, even when your brain tells you otherwise. And that, to me, is really important, because sometimes our brains do like to trick us into believing things that aren't necessarily true, right? Grassy Grove is a really pretty one, and I thought these stamped in like a black or even a dark gray along the bottom would be interesting, as like you're seeing the treetops and then the sky beyond. You could add hot air balloons if you wanted to go that route. This is hot air balloon. It has matching die pack. And the butterfly sayings set, sayings in the set of butterflies would also be really beautiful. If you wanted, you can put butterflies on there too. What do you think I should do? I'm feeling these swallows again just because they're so pretty, and I do have those included as coordinating embellishments. Now I've got some of the lighter paper color actually here, and then this white piece is for the inside of the card. So I think I might be using some, oh, my Versamark is away. There I go, tidying up again, hey, and wrecking my prep work. Okay, so Versamark is what I was talking about here. And because I was using the darker color of ink, I'm going to use my simple chamois to just clean this off and make sure it's cleaned, ready to go, so that I don't have any ink going onto my beautiful clean Versamark pad. I actually grabbed one that's pretty new. Look at that. So let's stamp this as a repeating pattern. Now I'm kind of giving you a little bit of free rein. You'll have to let me know if this is, oh, whoops. Let's see if I can do that. I was stamping with my silicone underneath, so it didn't quite go. Yeah, that worked pretty perfectly. Do you see how this clear ink is giving that tone on tone look? It's pretty cool. So this one actually might be a perfect one for like a reach for the stars. What do you think? We've got the stars in the background there. I might do that one just because it's ready to go. Reach for the stars. What should I do for that? Should I maybe do some white embossing? I'll show you the Versamark. Do I have my white embossing here? If it's in the other room, I can't go get that. Only gold. All right, switch gears. We won't do that then. But maybe we'll do the tone on tone here as well. I just have to clean this up a little bit. No, you know what? I'm going to switch gears back to what I was doing before. Maybe you're doing a little bit of this too. Blueberry bushel is what I'm going to use. Reach for the stars. And I've got this one bent a little bit from the arch that it was supposed to be matching with. So just a reminder, you can modify those a little bit. That looks great. I love that pop of blue onto that berry burst. You might be wondering what this paper is. I hope you are, because this is a really cool bit of paper. This is actually my gift to you with a $100 minimum purchase this month, and it's called White Center Specialty Paper. And so with this, there's a special technique that you can do when you rip it apart, tear this edge. You can actually expose that white core. on the inside. That's pretty fun too, hey? You can also, if you do a texture emboss on it, you can really bring out the texture. This one is a little bit hard to see because it's a lighter color, but you can actually emboss that, you can sand the embossing, and then that's going to expose this white core on the inside. Let's see if I can do it here a little bit. So there, I just sanded the edge, and you can see it's starting to show that core on the inside there. So you can do all kinds of techniques with this. Also, I like it just like how we're using it. So if you wanted to emboss it and, you know, have some of that white core coming through, I think that would look great. But I really like the fact that there's a little bit of a texture on the paper to begin with. And for me, that really adds like that nice subtle kind of a embellishment to your card. I'm going to start with this white core cardstock being glued on. I'm not going to press it on too hard because I want to make sure of my layout before I finalize everything. There's my dimensionals. So I'm putting about 5 dimensionals on the back side of this. How many would you put on? Are you like 2 maximum or are you 17? I love dimensionals, but I also don't go too crazy with them. So I'm kind of matching the border that I have here, 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 and here. And the design that I was inspired by used this paper just like this and had the pattern coming up from the bottom with this arch kind of upside down from what I normally would have applied it with. So you'll have to let me know if that's turning things around for you and if you were thinking as it just being like a window kind of arch. And now if this is changing things for you. So I'll put this card front onto my card base. There we go. And to finish it off, we've got some embellishments. These beautiful gold birds that are just swooping and playing in the clouds. So pretty. I like how flat they are, but they're still of good quality. They're still metal, and so they still feel luxe and shiny, but they don't add a whole bunch of bulk to your card. There you go, reach for the stars. I think I have to put this one over just a little bit. I always like 2 birds together and then 1 bird kind of joining the fun. Pretty, right? It's kind of a simple layout when it comes to it, but I hope you were inspired to take it up a notch. Oh, let's put the inside in before we forget that. I just do that for cards when the cardstock base color is quite dark. Otherwise, I like people seeing the color on the inside, and just using a black pen I find works really well. All right, so those are the cards there for the second one, and let me show you where those products come from. So again, we've got lots more online exclusives, but we do have a couple that I've showcased from the catalog. So the Storybook Friends stamp set, I was saying could be working really well, or the sayings from Beautiful Butterflies from our annual catalog. We've got Take to the Sky for some of those airplanes. On this page here, these aren't bundles, but these are coordinating products. Forever Forest is a great one if you wanted to add some trees. Hot Air Balloon, Grassy Grove, again has some more trees. This is a really fun one too. Delicate Forest has some really great imagery, and then the die pack that goes along with it is really cool. Then we've got Wonderful Thoughts, I think is just a great stamp set to have in general, so you can grab that whenever you need a saying. We used our Versamark. I also showcased this Thoughtful Expression stamp set here, which is featured on page 127. From our online exclusives, though, we've got lots of goodies, including this whole suite of products. So again, this is an online exclusive suite, and you can purchase it now while supplies last. I think these arches are out of stock right now. If you're interested in those, just reach out to me. I'll put you on the list and I'll notify you when they're back in stock. I really like that they have that dot embossing on the inside of the cutting edge, but you can definitely use this as a frame as well. The reason that I basically thought of these as just being a peekaboo arch is because of the coordinating Everyday Skies designer series paper, which we've used a bit of, but I imagine this as being like a cardstock base and then cutting this window opening out of it and then seeing this beautiful sky in the background. So that's why my brain went initially to the rounded part always must be on the top, the square part must be on the bottom. But now we know, right? We can use these in so many different ways. We used, I think, a little bit of a larger one on a card a couple months ago and had it as a flap coming down from the top, right? You can use it as a great spot for a saying on a card and maybe having some sprigs or flowers or things like that coming from behind. So just think outside the box with these beautiful frames, because I think that this will be a die pack that you'll want to be using for years to come. While we're looking at this Everyday Sky 6x6, let's just flip through the sheets because they're so pretty. I'm going to just flip them over like this. The one side is actually painted by a Stampin' Up! Artist, and it looks like she used acrylic paint on the canvas because you can actually see the texture of the canvas in the high quality resolution photos that they take of her finished works of art. And then what they do is load them into the computer where they will color correct and adjust any of the colors that she's mixed up to match with Stampin' Up's colors. So that's why you get this amazing coordination between the Berry Burst and the Berry Burst paper, right? So they go from like really happy and kind of sunny clouds to a little bit more of like a moody sunset. Things like, look at that one, it's nice and starry. This one's really a nighttime one. Then we've got, this one gets a little bit abstract, which is really fun with some of those purples in there. And then we got like a nice, beautiful sunrise. I love designer series paper that inspires me right off the hop, and these ones really do. Well, the ones that we used are actually in here as well. I think I showed you I think I kept one full size of each of them when I was cutting. That's good. I can still show you all the different designs. So Everyday Skies would be the suite if you wanted to get everything in it, or you could get the Everyday Arches bundle, again when those arches are back in stock. We also used the adhesive back dragonflies. These are an online exclusive, adhesive back dragonflies and birds. So they have the two bird shapes there. And then you also have these great little dragonflies. They're so nice and flat. They're easy to add onto projects. Don't get too bulky for the mail, or even they're great for scrapbooking because then it doesn't add too much thickness to your pages. And then I started just noting some of the other stamp sets that would work along with it. So you've got lots of different options with this, and I'm sure you have some from your stash, which hopefully you've been inspired to use a little bit of. All right, we're on to our last project. And that one looks something like this. For this card, we're going to be playing around with some coloring techniques, specifically watercoloring. So there's two different color schemes of this card. You might have a version that's with this Lost Lagoon color, or you might have like a brighter blue color, which would be the boho blue color. So you'll have to just adjust accordingly to match, if you want to matchy your ink colors. But I'll show you what this card ends up looking like. It's actually a part of the same suite as last month's Critter card, which reminds me of Beatrix Potter, to be honest. But this card here is actually featuring a different bundle, and I love it because we're making a bit of an interactive card. So you can actually pick these carrots right out of the ground and we're going to watercolor those carrots. So I'll show you a couple of different ways. It depends on what supplies you have in your stash, but just getting started, you'll probably want to grab some watercolor pencils if you have those. We're going to be using this on watercolor paper, so I would recommend using a water painter. If you don't have those watercolor pencils, which end up looking like those, you can also take out your Stampin' Write markers. These ones are the circular tips, so they are water-based, and when we use these markers and our water painter, we can actually move around the color that we apply to the card stock. So another way of doing this is, of course, to use the matchy-matchy stamp set. So the pieces that we're talking about watercoloring first here are these little carrot pieces that we've die cut. So you can see this paper is a little bit different than regular paper. It's actually made of 100% cotton. So that is going to work really, really well with a lot of our different techniques. One way of using this imagery, let's grab the stamp set there. The imagery from the storybook Garden Patch is to stamp the image, color that in, then die cut it. Now with my kits that are sent all over Canada here, I'm a little bit tied with copyright and I can't send out stamped images. And so we are going to play around, and I was really confident that you guys could handle drawing a carrot. So take a deep breath, everything's going to be okay. It just needs to look along the lines of this, right? You can handle that, no problem. I am not seeing your comments. Oh, yay, there you are, wonderful. Okay, good to see you, Priscilla. Okay, so I wanted to show you a different way that you could do this if you had the stamps. Okay, most of you don't have the stamps, but while you're gathering your supplies for doing some watercoloring, you might be then putting these stamps on your wish list because they're super cute. They're really versatile. They work well with those critters from that other stamp set, but this one can be totally used on its own for, you know, the green thumbs in your life. And there are so many people who love gardening, and I love making cards that are perfect for the people in my life. So if you've got this carrot or the beet, the peas would be tricky to use. Those ones would be green all over anyways, but the strawberries might be the trickiest to do with this technique, but I'll tell you in a second how I would do those. If you're doing the carrot and you're wanting to ink it up though, you can kind of just eyeball it. I start off with the orange, the lighter of the two colors, because I don't mind as much if this pumpkin pie color gets into my old olive ink, whereas if I had a bit of old olive ink, I think it would transfer and kind of muddy my beautiful pumpkin pie ink pad. So there we go. I've got the two tones of color. I've got the tops as being green, and then I've got the bottom as being the orange color, and I've just used my stamps. Now another way of doing this would be to use your Stampin' Write markers, and then you can do a direct to rubber technique where you're actually just using the brush tip and inking it up just like that. Again, you want to start with the lighter color of the two, and then you can go to the darker color. You can't do this technique with your Stampin' Blends. Those are alcohol-based markers, and they're basically like a Sharpie. So if you were to do this technique with your blends, then what you'd end up with is a permanently beautifully colored stamp that is never going to transfer the color onto your paper. Not exactly what we're looking for, but anyways, this is an idea that you can do if you have the stamp set, okay? I always want to showcase techniques for when you purchase the stamp sets, but I know that many of you, when you're crafting along yet, you might not have the stamp set in your collection yet. You might be adding it to your wish list, and so I want to always give you a little bit of a workaround. So I'm going to show you two different ways that you can watercolor your cute little cutout carrots to make them look just like this adorable stamped carrot. Okay, so let's try using the markers first. So with the markers, I'm going to start, it depends how fat your brush tip is, but I'm going to, just knowing these ones, they are a little bit of an older marker. They've been around in my stamp room and used by probably hundreds of people over, I would say 15 years, maybe even 17 years. I'm using the bigger brush tip, which is the thick line side, and then going to the thinner line side here for some of the lines that I'm doing across, just like that. Then for the upper part, I know that my fine tip is needing replacement, so I have to go with my bigger brush tip. So this is going to give me kind of a fatter line than maybe one would prefer, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just have to deal with what you got going on, and that is, I have a 15-year-old marker pack actually that is really still working mostly, and these don't get sold independently, and so I'm going to have it as a little bit more of a bold image here for the top. So this is, when you watercolor it, going to give a look similar to this. I'll show you what it looks like first. I feel like that's really hard to see or something. There we go. Can you guys see that a little bit better now? It's not so overly illuminated. So both of these were kind of done in the same way, but just watercolored a little bit differently on different days. So with this one here, I would say it probably would be closer to this one as I watercolor it. So if you're wanting your little carrot to turn out a little bit more finely detailed, you will want to gravitate towards these watercolor pencils. I'm going to do the same technique with those, and I'm using the same exact colors, pumpkin pie, going with like a deeper line around, just like that, and then, you know, the little lines across, just like that. I'm glad you guys are here. I just couldn't see your comments. I'm sorry. You guys may have been waiting for me to respond to something. I will get back to you. If you write in the comments, I do see them. And I appreciate you crafting along with me. So this one I'm kind of just making a little scribble. I start from the bottom, and I'm not making this perfect at all. It's just going to be this nice little abstract squiggles that then get blended together to be a nice little green top for my carrot. So when you are doing your watercoloring, oh, I should show you this as well. So we've got the different options here for the watercoloring. So this is watercolor pencils. This is after using the water painter, but this is what it will look like before you add the water. So if yours looks like that, you're going to get a result that looks kind of like mine. And I'm going to start now. I always want to make sure that you've got a nice clean water painter going on here. So I just start squeezing a little bit of the water out and making sure that that comes clean. You can use that on a scrap piece of paper. I like using it on my simple chamois. So I'm going to start by, I need my light back again. There we go. Start by using my watercolor pencils and just moving around the color a little bit. This paper can really withstand a lot of saturation, but you might not like that look on your carrot. So I would say start with a little bit of water. Then if you find that you're needing a little bit more, you can give it a little press on the reservoir, and that will start to squeeze out some more of the color. And I love this watercolor paper that's made out of cotton because you can just keep going back to it. Even after you've dried it one time, you can say, oh, maybe I would just want to blend that a little bit more. And you can keep going back and adding more color. I've never had this watercolor paper pill or start to disintegrate on me. So that's a really great feature, especially in comparison to some of our other cardstocks, which are pressed really fine that give you a nice stamped image, but will definitely start to disintegrate if you start putting a heavy application of water onto them. Now you're going to just want to make sure, I used so little water on this one that it's actually, I'm ready to do the top. You wouldn't want to start doing the top if the bottom's wet, because the two colors, like as soon as the water meets each other, they're just going to move from side to side, and then you're going to end up with this really blurry, muddy color of the orange and the green. Oh, that's so cute. So it just softens the lines. I love the look of watercolor pencils. Now I could clean this off, but I don't need to because I'm switching between the same colors, just a different medium. And this one is blending now those water-based Stampin' Write markers, which I used the fatter tip on. And for this one, I really like how that's blending. It's just softening it perfectly. I'm just cleaning off out of camera here, sorry. Cleaning off this brush tip, squeezing and making sure that the reservoir looks clear and clean, because sometimes you can get a backdraft of some ink going back into the reservoir. So it's looking really clean to me, so it's ready to go for my next project. But before this dries too much, I'll show you here. Oh, now we need that away. Can you guys see those two? So this is the one that I just did with the water-based Stampin' Write markers. And then this one here is like a little bit of a more dainty looking one made with the watercolor pencils. Watercoloring is so much fun, and it can be slightly intimidating, you know, when you're first thinking of getting started and maybe you don't think you're very artistic. But I promise you, with the right tools and with Stampin' Up's imagery, you will have really professional looking results in kind of no time at all. Might take a couple practice cards. You know, it's always nice to do it as an additional layer. Then if you mess it up, you can always dab it as well. So I like to keep a little tissue on hand, and if I had a big pool of water there that started blending and oozing more than I wanted, I could take that tissue and just blot up any of the excess water, and then that would kind of keep it under control. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is a little application of blending brush to ground this mound of dirt. So take your vanilla paper, and you might have the boho blue color scheme. I did the boho blue color here, or you might have this Lost Lagoon color scheme. So depending on what you got, I think that Pool Party would probably be like the happy medium between the two of them if you didn't want to do like a matchy-matchy sort of look, or if you didn't have the exact colors. But using my blending brush here, I'm just going to swirl on a little bit of that blue. I love swirling and blending on to our smooth cardstocks like Basic White, or this one, which is the Very Vanilla. Oh, don't put that away yet, because I need to stamp a saying. So what should I do here? I'm kind of feeling, so I did Thinking of You, You're a True Blessing. Maybe For You is kind of a good one. This is the Layering Leaf stamp set. This coordinates with a punch, and it's a really great stamp set. I think I'm going to do that one. For You would just be perfect. Sometimes you need generic cards, especially when it's a theme like this, right? For You will cover lots of different occasions for whichever green-thumbed person that I'm going to give this to. I think of my aunt actually when I am making this card, because she's retired and she just absolutely loves her garden, and she does beautiful things with it. So this one's thinking of you, Auntie. I did it top right, so just give me a little bit more room for me to place my carrots kind of half coming out of the ground. That's all the stamping that I'm going to be doing. So you can put away your ink pad after that. I'll just set that to the side and have that dry a little bit here too. This ribbon, my goodness, you guys, I can't believe it, but it is retired, and I'm so sorry because I'm teasing you with it. I do have a little bit in my stash for my retired sale if you are wanting some of it, but I literally didn't realize until I was doing my supply lists yesterday that it was not available on the online store anymore. So whoopsie, sorry about that. Okay, I'm putting tear and tape down, and I'm just going to do a wrap around this designer series paper. I'm not using the whole thing because I'm actually going to use this strip to tie on and make this little tie piece. So I'm just putting about a centimeter overhang for both of these. And the reason why I like doing that instead of wrapping it around the card or cutting it to match the end is I really like the clean inside of the card, and I don't like the end of this to be fraying on the side. I like those finishing touches, I think, really take your projects to the next level. On the back side, just using a bit of Stamp and Seal can help to hold that on, and then I'm going to hold it on even more with some more of that tear and tape. So when you're wrapping this back, you just want to make sure that the edges are down so that you're not seeing them poking through the back side there. So more tear and tape. I'm almost finishing up a roll here. That's exciting. So I'm putting the tear and tape over top of this ribbon, which is just going to help to hold it on even better. Oh, look at that. I did finish it. What a sense of accomplishment I feel whenever I do that. I was going to, anyways, do a middle stripe of Stamp and Seal, so I don't have a problem with finishing up that little bit there with the Stamp and Seal. I covered the part that I was most concerned about, which was that ribbon. Then we're going to take this piece and put it onto our cardstock base, hopefully lining it up perfectly. I triple measured, but look at that. There's a little bit that I want to trim off. There we go. That looks good now, I think. I'm being finicky now. I was joking yesterday about my watercoloring being like how you cut your bangs accidentally. Sometimes you're like, oh, I'll just do a little trim of, like, one side of my bang is a little bit long or something like that. And then you trim that one side, and then, oh no, now that's too high. I gotta make it shorter on the other side. And then you work your way up until you got little tiny baby bangs. No, don't do that with your cardstock. Don't do that with your watercoloring like what I was doing yesterday. So this piece now, if you wanted to, I did this yesterday where I peeled this up and then I fed this through and then I tied it on to this ribbon. So this is actually tied right onto that ribbon spool that has is running around the card. But you know what, I'm going to show you an even quicker way today. And that is to just tie a knot and use a glue dot and stick it on like that. So that's easy peasy. So my glue dots are here. I use my glue dot to pick up whatever I'm gluing on. Oh, is that side nicer maybe? I'll use that side. Usually there's like a not so nice side of your tag or tie piece, and then there's a nicer side. So I'll just put this over here. I can finesse that a little bit later. And I'm going to trim up the ends after I have my rectangle over top. Let's do our piece of dirt now. Initially, I kind of thought that this card just looks nice and clean with this just simple paper, and I was putting it on like that. And then Kathy, my assistant, said, or you could crumple the paper and that would add even more texture. And so I'm going to show you how to do that, because I really do think it adds a lot. And I think it's just like a fun technique. I've got this piece of cardstock cut a little bit long anyways for you to go onto your very vanilla paper. And so even with crumpling, I think that you'll be able to have it lying flat and to both edges of the paper. But this just gives so much depth and interest. You can soften the paper by spritzing some water onto it if you want, but for me, I don't find that that is necessary. I'm going to put on some tear and tape, and I'm going to be a little bit aware of where my slits are, where my little carrots are going to slide into. So on this card here, these can slide in and out, and they're so long actually that they can peek out the bottom. So I don't ever put them down that far. But if you had a piece of adhesive here, then the furthest that this one would be able to go in would be about that far out. So it depends the look that you're going for, but I'm going to leave that at the bottom open, and I'm just going to put some of my tear and tape here on the side, and then on this side here too. There we go. And I'll take my carrot out of there for now. I'll go over here to my nice little background piece, and I'm going to start in one corner and then work my way to the other corner, kind of smoothing it down as I go. So I've fit one corner there, and now I'm going to have to pull this a little bit tighter because it's still wanting to be quite bent. But as I do that, try not to stick that on there too much, then it will just line up pretty perfectly with the side there. There we go. So now I've got that texture, but then I still have it kind of lining up in the corners. It's the best of both worlds. It's like restrained chaos. That's the perfect kind of chaos for me. Some Stampin' Seal on the back here. Put that onto your pretty peacock, or you might have the misty moonlight color. Oh no, I put it on crooked. If you ever put it on crooked, use the heat of your breath or your heat tool to soften it, and then you can usually peel it off pretty well. There we go. So for you on the back side of that, you bet we're putting on some dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, 5. We'll put those into place here. And now we'll slide that up kind of as high as we'd like. I like showing this designer series paper, and I like having room for my watering can. You can slide your little carrots into place. Ideally you would have a matching set, right? Mine are looking a little bit cattywampus, but I'm going to snip these edges now that I know exactly how this is going to look over here. And then the final finishing touch for this card is to make our watering can. So our watering can is comprised of 2 parts. The base layer is a smoky slate die cut of the outline, which works with the stamp set and this cute watering can image. So you could stamp that and then die cut it out with that. Or Stampin' Up! Also gives you this fun layered piece. There's a little piece here that I'm going to pop out in the middle. And Kathy reminded me that this would be a perfect application for using some adhesive backing. So we turn this into a sticker. You're welcome! If you peel off the backing, then you've got this great silver foil layer, which is going to go over the top. How it fits together is actually fitting against the bottom of the watering can. So it's not offset. It's actually against the bottom, and then it kind of goes up like that. So I really like the look of this. couple dimensionals on the back side here. Being aware of like where it's going to sit here, I might not put a dimensional there. I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal or even a little glue dot there. A little bit of your Tombow mono adhesive would work well. Here we go. And now you've got your finished card. So you might have this design where you've got the Lost Lagoon color, or you might have the boho blue color. Just a reminder that this boho blue is going to be retired in May with a new catalog. So make sure that you are stocking up on your ink refills, your papers, everything that you need before that color is retired. It's a really nice blue, and I think it's one that you'll gravitate towards for many years. So it's awesome to stock up and get what you need right now. So where do these products come from? Well, we've got more from the catalogs this time, fewer online exclusives on these cards. This page here, 24 and 25, shows you the stamp set and dies that are in this suite, as well as this gorgeous plaid paper that we used. So last month on our adorable little critter cards, we used many of the more like pink options, and then I've got the blue options here for us, and then there's even more that we haven't used from the set, which are like these brown kind of plaids, and then these bright blue and orange ones too. So there's so many options, and these come 6 inch by 6 inch, so they're great for a card like this. This is 3 inches by 5.5 inches, so you can actually get 2 of these out of one piece of 6 inch by 6 inch paper. Then also from this catalog, why did I do this one? No, that's not true. That's the wrong flag, Kelly. Annual catalog. We've got our silver foil sheets. We also have foil in other metallic colors, so make sure you're taking a look at that. There's also some gold foil too that's available, I think as an online exclusive maybe. And then I want to direct you to page 118. This is such a wonderful page to give you instructions on how you can color in totally different ways. So we used a similar technique to painting with water. We didn't use our ink pads. We used our watercolor pencils along with our water painter pen. You could also use what's called blender pens, which are double-ended with a clear solution inside, and those work really well with our watercolor pencils too. Those work best on our very vanilla paper or our white paper, our basic white paper, whereas today we were using that thick Fluid 100 paper, which is available down here in the corner, Fluid 100 watercolor paper. And that's again made of cotton, so it can really absorb more water, and so that's why we were able to use this water painter. There's also Spritz Bliss and Pretty in Pastels with watercoloring with pastels. So there's so much on this page to learn and explore, and I think this will really inspire you to do some coloring of your own. Then a reminder on page 135 that our marker assortments are sold in packs of 10. So make sure you're getting some of those for your collection, because you can do all kinds of fun techniques like that direct to rubber for stamping in 2 tones or multiple tones. And you can also use them like this, where you're coloring on watercolor paper and then moving around the ink that's already been applied to the paper. And final reminder that we've got this whole pack of in colors that are actually leaving us May 6th or while supplies last. So we know that these are leaving us, but every year there's like a mad rush as soon as the retired list comes out. And on that retired list says that the re-inkers for the stamp pads are going to be discontinued. But we know that they're going to be discontinued right now. So don't wait until they potentially sell out when that list is released, because it's crazy. Every year it's like a couple of hours and then they start selling out. So you can't get the pack of all 5 of them. And then if you don't have a re-inker, it's kind of making your ink pad a little bit useless, right? So take a look right now. If you've got Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moody Mauve, or Pebble Path in your collection, just make sure you've got a nice full re-inker, and that's going to keep that ink pad healthy and usable for many, many years to come, okay? So just check that right now. I wanted to show you one more thing before we get to my final, most important question for the day, but I wanted to show you these catalogs and explain to you what's going on between what's online and what's being shown in the catalog. So online, you're going to see a little bit more advanced products, okay? So these are products that are maybe not for the beginner stamper. Maybe they're more geared towards somebody who's been crafting for a while. With these products, it's great because an experienced stamper like me can look at it and see the potential immediately and have all kinds of design opportunities on my brain. Whereas the catalog is now being used as more of an entry point and a learning tool for people who are maybe getting started or who haven't they don't have a demonstrator like me to show you a whole bunch of different techniques, okay? So when we're looking at the catalog, I want to explain to you what you're seeing. So on page 23, Storybook Moments is the start of the suite, and they're going to give you a variety of products and projects to look at. So these ones are all made with different techniques. You're going to see things that are stamped and colored and then cut out, maybe fussy cutting from some designer series paper. And as you go through, you're going to see the different products, and then this one here is a mega suite, and they show you so much more. They show you that the dies can cut out many of the images from the designer series paper. Then it also comes with pre-die cut and pre-colored pieces in that designer series paper. So you can use this paper different ways. You can die cut some of your own characters in addition to the ones that are already provided for you. And what can you do with those characters? Well, you can put them on little 3D boxes like these little sour cream packets. On this next page, they're saying you can color it, you can pencil it, you can paint it and blender it. You can do so many different ways to color in the stamps from this beautiful stamp set. And then I want to draw your attention to this card here because it's kind of similar to the one that we've been doing. They will have a project in each of these suites where there's only dies being used as well. So this one has only dies and then this little saying stamp going over the top there. They've even shown you how you can slide your little vegetables into this little opening. Then the instructions continue with even more details. So I love giving all these different options. It's showing you how you can trim down the ribbon and make it an even more dainty look and just have this edge of the ribbon showing. It's showing you how you can mix and match frames and to create this different two-tone application with the dies. And then we've also got scrapbook pages, which we know we can also look in our scrapbook brochure and see a whole bunch more information. And then there's a link. If you scan this with your phone, it's going to take you to the generic Stampin' Up! Page. You want to make sure you're looking at my page, which is 𝘾𝙧𝙚𝙘𝙚, and at the very least looking at the Canadian page, which is going to give you the proper pricing and not lead you down a rabbit hole, shall we say, in terms of pricing that it does not apply to you. So there's my little disclosure of how we look at a catalog and how we also understand what we're looking at online versus in the catalogs. Oh, there we go. This one's that one. Now my question for you is, what was your favorite project of the night? I just love them all. They're so different, aren't they? So what do I like about each of them? Well, I'm a sucker for bunnies, and these chicks are adorable. I also love how easy and quickly these come together and the versatility of putting those together in some different ways. If you're ever wondering about how to get inspired, make sure you take a look at Paper Pumpkin Fan Club on Facebook. It's a page where a whole bunch of people post creative ideas and alternatives that they've made with paper pumpkin kits. On that page, you can search in the name of the kits that you have, and you can get all kinds of ideas, even scrapbook pages and 3D projects, all different ideas of starting with those paper pumpkin kits and going from there outside the box. I have to say these otters are pretty near and dear to my heart, and I love a good simple fun fold, something that just takes it up a notch from the basic design of a card that opens, and I think this is playful from start to finish. This card here is maybe a little bit outside of my normal comfort zone because I left it a little bit more open-ended for you to design your own. So if you've played around with it and you've got your design that you're loving, please post it and share your inspiration and let it inspire others too. So I'd love to see what you made with that. If you added extra embellishments or if you kept it clean and pared down just like my card here. That I think, you know what, there's a time and a place for a lot of stuff going on, and then there's also just a nice simple card which some of us are not as practiced doing anymore because we've been crafting for a while. Or did you like this one with its fun little interactive elements? I was laughing last night thinking about, I know exactly the people who would start playing and pulling around with these cute little carrots, and who would, some people when they get the card and it's handmade, it's very precious to them, and they just hold it, oh, like this, and then they will open it, just not trying to touch. And then some people like my kids will just start pulling at those carrots. So I'll have to do a test with them and give them the card to see what I made, and I'll report back to you if they pull out those carrots or not. And you let me know too if you would be the one pulling those carrots out or not. So thank you so much for joining me for this whirlwind of a card club where I showcase so many different things. There's so many new things being added to the online store all the time, so I'm going to keep saying it. Check that online store. It's just incredible, some of the things that are popping up there. And whenever you're about to place an order, just remember, before you click submit, make sure you take a look at the new arrivals section of the online store, okay? So if you're shopping, there's a host link in the comments. Video description is where you're going to find that on YouTube or on Facebook. And if you want a package of those projects, please reach out to me. Even if you're watching this in the future, I can send this all over Canada, and I do have some left over from other months and years past. So if you purchase 6 or more, you actually get a discounted rate. So you can get it for free with a minimum $35 order, or you can choose to purchase the kits just as the kit price, $20 per kit, or and that would give you all of the cards that we made. Or you can choose to purchase 6 or more months, whichever ones that you decide you like, and then you get a discounted rate. It's just $15 per kit. So if you want to craft along with me, I sure hope that you will reach out and I can send you some projects and you can craft along at home to your heart's content. So thank you again for joining me, and as always, I hope to stamp with you again very soon.